Hello everybody, I'm Katie from katiewritestuff.com and today I have a modest fabric and pattern haul. So let's get right into it so I can show you all my goodies and tell you what I'm going to do with them. Except in the case of one where I have no idea. First of all, I would like to show you the state of my current fabric stash. Thanks, Missy. And this is why I have fur all over it. As you'll be able to see, it's mostly prints with some prints, topped off with a few prints. So I'm currently on a mission to try not to buy so many prints, which is why you'll be surprised to see that my first fabric is a print. It's not my fault. My husband thought I should buy it, and well, quite frankly, it's chickens. Why wouldn't I buy it? And look at my favourite one is this little trail of grain that these chickens are ignoring, which is most unlike them. It was from a patchwork store, so it's just quilting cotton, and I'm going to make a skirt out of it because a skirt with chickens on it would surely be amazing. I got that from a store called Textile Offcuts in Lilydale. It's a very boring sounding name, but they had so many cute prints. There was an entire teapot section, for example. But I went for the chickens instead. Next time for the teapots. Although I shouldn't, because I'm not buying prints. Anyway, in the same town there's a really good second-hand shop that we went to mostly to drop things off. But of course I had to pick some things up as well. And I again went for the prints. These are both knit fabrics of some description, and they're basically practice fabrics. So the thing with buying fabrics from a second-hand shop is that it's a bit of a magical mystery tour. You're not quite sure what you're getting. So all I can tell you is this is not stretchy, but it is a knit and it has these cute little blue and yellow hearts on it, and I am going to make some sort of jumper out of it for winter or autumn, or right now because it's quite cold even though it's summer. The next one is, it has all of the stretch. In fact, it goes both ways. And it's not too bad for a print. I mean, it's basically just pink dots, and it will either be a skirt or some sort of jackety business. Either way, they're my practice fabrics. They didn't cost very much money, and they're just sort of to ease me into working with knits. So we don't have to worry about ruining expensive fabric, it's a lot easier. The next day we went to Spotlight, which is the big crafty chain store in Australia, and I was actually on a mission to try and find some knit fabric in a floral print, because Rosa on Sewn showed in one of her recent videos this beautiful knit fabric with a floral print, and I thought I need some of that, and I am failing to find some of that. It's making me very sad. If you happen to be in Victoria or Melbourne and know where I might be able to find something like that, please leave me a recommendation. In the meantime, I was again trying to be very restrained and buy some sort of neutral plain fabrics, and I started with this, which is such a cute mint colour and has little triangle-y arrow things going places, and it's lovely knit, and I'm going to make a dress out of it, possibly the Tilly and the Buttons Cocoa, which I think is super cute. And I seriously haven't seen a version where it didn't suit the person no matter what size or shape they were, so hopefully that will be a dress. And my next one I love so much because it's Secret Dinosaurs. Yes, it might look like an innocent navy fabric with splodges of magenta, but when you get up close you'll see there's a little Tyrannosaurus Rex. I just love it so much that I love the idea of wearing this to work and looking all serious and responsible, because I'm very serious and responsible at work. And when people get up close, they realise I'm wearing miniature dinosaurs. I think it's going to be a dress as well, or a skirt and a top. I don't know. I actually haven't decided specifically what it's going to be, but I have plenty of options. And then, because I thought I'd been super restrained buying these totally non-printed fabrics, I bought this. Yes. See, this is the one where I don't actually know what I'm going to do with it. It was very cheap. It was about, oh, there's the sticker, I can find out. It was $5.60 a metre. It was on the bargain table, and I love it. It's crazy. It's basically canvas. I am thinking perhaps I will make a new project bag for my knitting for bigger projects with a zip or something. Yeah, but otherwise, if you have any ideas, let me know what I can do with canvas fabric in a crazy print, because I have 2 meters of this. It's not going to take 2 meters to make a project bag, so any ideas would be gratefully received. Never work with cats. The third little batch of goodies I have are knitting patterns, which hopefully you will be able to see past my cat. I'm lucky that my husband comes with me on lots of these adventures, because even though I love finding old patterns, I can be a bit laid back in my attitude to searching for them. I have a tendency to just sort of flick through a box or whatever and think, nah, there's nothing there, I'm moving on. Whereas he'll actually go through it and pull out things for me, so thank goodness for him. Any strange banging noises you can hear, which you probably will, are the cockatoos in the trees above the house chewing off the little, I think there's sycamore pods, and dropping them on our tin roof. So nothing's falling down yet, it's just really irritating. Anyway, back to the important things. The first one I saw was this gorgeous, gorgeous book, and I would have been happy to just take this off the top of the pile and walk out of the shop, because it's beautiful. I would put it probably in the late 40s or early 50s. On the front you have some of the identifiers of a World War II depression, rationing era garment. In that it has short sleeves, it has a relatively short waist, and you've got some colour work going on, so you can use up wool from previous projects, because wool was obviously rationed and saved for the forces rather than the people who needed to keep warm at home. And yet on the back you have the absolute opposite, with this really long cardigan with really long sleeves, but you do still have some colour work, so you can be using up all your odds and ends. But it is beautiful. Hopefully you can see it more in the close-up and enjoy it. And then I found this. I love 70s patterns so much. I will never make a secret of that. But I do think some people can be put off by the colour combinations or the styling. So I think, to give it a chance, we shall view it in black and white, which takes away, there are some interesting colour combinations in the 70s, I will give you that. It can sort of distract you from what the pattern actually is. And I think, much as when you're looking at a sewing pattern, you would ignore the styling and look at the line drawing. With a 70s pattern book, ignore the styling and just look at the shape of the garment. Ignore the colour and look at what sort of patterning it has. Because this is beautiful. I love patterns in the 70s because they put all of the patterns on the back so you can see what you're getting. And my favourite of this would absolutely have to be this twin set. I love that she's wearing this very 1920s looking cloche a little bit as well. But it's so beautiful, and hopefully by now you're seeing a close-up of the little jumper that goes in the twin set. And you'll be able to see it shares a lot of similar features to the picture on the front of the 1940s book. You know, that has short sleeves, a short waist, and there's colour work in it. This is why I always recommend 1970s patterns, and even 1980s patterns, because they have a lot of styling that borrows from previous eras, and you could easily make that look 1940s just by choosing different colours and maybe not having so many colours in the rib, or just personalizing it, because you can do whatever you want basically. But I would totally love to make that. It's amazing. Anyway, back to colour. This is the most useless assistant in the world. All she does is sit there and then attack me. You are not the star of this show. She probably is though. My final one that I found is Aaron's in Totem. I could totally do announcement work, couldn't I not? Couldn't I not? Yeah, maybe not. What's she looking at? Hey? Yeah, she wants her dinner. So yes, Aaron's in Totem, and it's probably early 1990s. Helpfully, knitting pattern books do not have dates on them, so you must guess. But I mean, an Aran pattern is an Aran pattern, so even though it's from the possibly 1990s, you could fit it into whatever era you wanted. The only difference being that this is in Totem, which is an 8-ply, and traditionally Arans are knitted in Aran weight wool, strangely enough, which is a 10 ply, so it would be a bit quicker, but I do quite like this one on the front. It is pretty. But yes, I recommend that you give more modern pattern books a go if you're interested in vintage knitting, because you will, if you look closely enough, you'll find a lot of elements that will work for older styles, even though you might be looking at some crazy clashing tartan business in the 1970s. So that is everything I have to share with you. Please, if you have any ideas for the crazy printed fabric, do let me know. If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of my useless cats, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because I would like to get to know you as well and follow your videos and your channel if possible. In the meantime, keep up the good work with making all the beautiful things. If you're having any setbacks in your sewing, like I've had a couple of disasters recently, it's so hard to keep your spirits up when you spent hours on something and it goes wrong. So if that's happening to you, take heart, you're not alone. Keep sewing and keep making things, it will all come good, I hope. That is all from me and Pickle for today. I may not have a video up next week, it just depends if I am able to record something, because I'm going to visit my parents who live far away. But otherwise I will see you very soon. Goodbye.